What up, what up, what up? It's your boy JB coming at you live and direct, and you know what it is. It's the Smoke Something, Drink Something podcast. I'm the Real Cigar Jeff. You can find me on Instagram at the Real Cigar Jeff. You can also go ahead and follow me over at Facebook at the Smoke Something, Drink Something podcast. And if you're watching this on YouTube, do me a favor, man. Subscribe to the channel, smash that like button, and turn on the notifications so that every time we drop a video, you the first one to know. And man, if y'all look below in the description, do me a favor, man. Support the channel. Get the merch, man. It's about to get warm outside, man. We need everybody flying to smoke something, drink something, colors when you go out there, man. And we about to jump into this thing. And once again, I'm always excited to have my panel, the Hometown Hookup Edition, man. And y'all know who it is here. And y'all know who else is here. And man, I got to let them introduce themselves. We were having a little technical difficulties prior to coming live, but he back. He's sounding clear. He can hear us and we can hear him. I'm going to let him introduce himself. He's y'all's people's champ, the favorite antagonist of the podcast. He's back again. Ain't nothing we can do to hold him down. I'm going to let him introduce himself and tell y'all where y'all can find him at on Instagram.
What's going on, everybody? It's your boy TLC. You can always find me on Instagram at TLClayton1. Thanks for having me, JB. Tonight I am sipping on the Modelo, and I'm smoking on the Romeo Julieta. This is the
okay. 18. You know, it's funny that you're smoking that. We about to be dropping a review on that Romeo Julieta here pretty soon. Be ready. Hey, look, TLC, what I might do, TLC, I might have you come in virtually to do a cigar review with me if you keep acting right. I mean, you know, if you keep acting right, we might let you be a part of the review. You probably won't be invited. We'll just keep the current setup. I ain't gonna lie. But that Modelo seems very refreshing on a Sunday evening. Y'all know who we got next, man. A1 from day one, always the voice of reason on the podcast. I got to tell you, I ain't got one complaint about her yet. I done got complaints about me. I done got complaints about TLC. I ain't got one complaint about this one yet. I'm going to let her introduce herself. Let y'all know where y'all can find her at on IG and what she's sipping on tonight.
Hey, what's going on, everybody? Thanks, JB, for having me on the call. It's your girl, Rhonda. You can find me on Instagram at RMBLMBT. I'm sipping on tonight. I had to make me a little hot chocolate concoction with my new favorite thing, the limited edition.
Rhonda, put it in the camera. Put it in the camera so we can see it. Put it in the camera so we can see it.
In honor of St.
All right.
Patrick.
Okay, mint vanilla shake Baileys. Okay. All right, this is going to get interesting.
Yeah. See the 4-leaf clovers?
Y'all know it. Oh, yeah, special batch.
Special batch.
Oh, okay. All right.
This is my drink right here. This is my drink. If y'all know, I drink.
We got to get,
and I know
give it up, man. We got to give it up for Rhonda. TLC didn't get nothing. TLC didn't get nothing. Y'all know how we do. Y'all know. Nah.
I think
for some reason it wouldn't let me. It wouldn't let me press it when you were talking. It just started out. They started operating again. And y'all know what I got, man. I'm sipping on a little Four Roses bourbon, and I got my favorite stick of all time. I'm smoking on my Julius Caesar right here, man. And just so y'all know, I ain't lying. I ain't putting no wrapper on a bundle that I got around, because I know some people, don't want to believe I smoke premium sticks too. Yeah, got the Julius Caesar, man. Tonight's topic, we're gonna jump right on into this thing. Tonight's topic is why negativity is necessary. Let me repeat myself. Why negativity is necessary. And y'all know what I got to do, man. I got to come around to the panel. TLC, when you got the topic, man, what came to your mind, man? And then Rhonda, we'll follow up with you, and we're gonna jump into this thing.
I was just thinking about life in general, how things play out. And I do think negativity is necessary. I think if you're doing something, you're probably going to have some passion towards it. some emotions connected to it, and it's going to be part of the process as far as like filtering out the process. I think it's just natural for there to be negativity there. Now, how you process that negativity is something else.
You jump in there and let them know
I
what
do
you
think it's necessary.
Yeah, JB, Torrance made a good point with that. It is necessary. My first initial thought was that we don't want negativity, but we do need negativity. And learning to embrace the negative is huge. If you ever get that, I think you could go far in life and tackle anything that comes your way. But without the negative,
this is interesting, y'all. We already agree in front of the beginning. Y'all see how YouTube and changed the panel? When we would just do an audio, we started at each other's throat from the beginning. Now since we on TV, everybody gotta act right, man. I'm gonna tell y'all like this. The reason why I wanted to do this topic is simple. Negativity is the only thing that changes behavior. It's the only thing that changes behavior. If somebody's positive with you, you don't change, right? If somebody's positive with you, you call them a liar. If I tell somebody, one of the things, we all black on this panel, and how do black people tell you look nice? Man, where you think you going? Right? We can't say you look nice, because then you gonna say, oh man, let me go change. Right? Because if you're positive with somebody, they don't know how to handle it. So the reason why negativity is necessary, it's the only way to get a behavior change. I want to get your thoughts on something, right? Every time a person wins a championship or wins a title, gets drafted, what's the first thing they say? I want to thank all of my haters. And why is negativity necessary, TLC? I want to say this to you. Mm-hmm. Negativity only comes from people that you know. Because the negativity from people that you don't know don't matter. Jump in that TLC, let me know what you think when you hear me say that.
Well, I do think negativity is necessary, but I don't rule out, positivity. I think
who does it work for?
Who does it work for? Let me know. Works as well, too. I mean, you give a person even in school, you get a silver star or your
and the girl you want to date, hey, to get a good
trying
grade.
To improve, try to get more gold stars or whatever. Well, that's a different subject. But I mean, like I say, positivity works. I mean, if a girl you like gives you something because you did a good job or you were dressed nice or even a compliment, you walk down the hall and the girl says, "Oh, damn, you smell good. What cologne that you wearing?" Guess what? You gonna have that cologne on. You gonna be buying cologne every day as long as you in school. From now on, you wearing that cologne. So I mean, positive reinforcement does
negativity
work,
is more powerful.
I do think negativity
is more powerful.
Is needed. Like
when you walk down that same hall, you don't thank the person who gave you the compliment that your Irish Spring smelled good, because that's what you was rocking back in school. You and Brute 33, you wasn't rocking no good stuff. No. You hated that the girl who you wanted to smell it didn't smell it. So it's always the person you don't want to compliment you complimenting you. Rhonda, what you think when you jump in there? What you think? I'm gonna come back to you, TLC. Go ahead.
Well, you do grow from the negative ones, right? Because you focus on that. Like if you were raised a certain way, you had to make sure your clothes were straight when you went to school. You were clean, you were neat, all that good stuff. And then you had to, you had to be impressive to your teachers, to your peers, or whatever. Like, you take that first day of school, man. You can't wait to get up. You done press your clothes, iron your clothes. Yes, I said press. You done iron your clothes. You done iron your clothes. The night before, you got them shoes all cleaned up and white, everything new. You expecting to get that positive, all those positive compliments, right? Because you don't put your all into it. So if you go to school on the first day and they ain't said nothing about your new LA Gears or nothing about your Jordans, you're going to be like, So the negative part is a fuel. Mm-hmm. It's just that sometimes the negative things.
Okay, TLC, I see you got your hand up. Jump in there real fast.
Negative can be good.
But I think, especially like now, when I'm the last several years, it's hard for people to take a compliment now. So I mean, it's kind of hard to be positive towards people. People don't want necessarily positivity in their life.
The TLC.
But I mean, it's needed, just like negativity is needed. But sometimes,
if you go be positive to somebody now, you end up with a sexual harassment charge.
They just can't say thank you,
right? You say positive, you say something positive to somebody. Now you end up getting sued, right? And my point to you is that this is why negativity is necessary. If you tell somebody they're attractive and it ain't who they want to hear it from, all of a sudden it's sexual harassment. If it's from the person you want to hear it from, oh my God, thank you so much.
Absolutely.
Right? Look at Jackson Mahomes, right? Pat Mahomes' brother. Grabbed that woman, kissed her, the owner of that bar. Now he under investigation. He under investigation for sexual assault. Why? She just didn't want it from him. Right? It would have been Patrick Mahomes. It would have been posted it on Instagram. You got to realize when you Tito and giving a compliment versus when you Michael and giving a compliment. And that's why TLC, I'm jumping a little bit around right now. And Rhonda, I like what you said. But what happens is you've heard this cliche, positive vibes only. And one of the problems that people have with positive vibes only, that means lie to me only. And positivity has turned into a lie. And Rhonda, I want you to jump in here on this one. Positivity means you're lying to me. Negativity means you telling me the truth. And that's why negativity is necessary, because here's what happens. You can't handle the truth. We did a podcast a while back called "A Lie Will Set You Free." Right? You get negative with somebody, you're basically being truthful with somebody. And the problem that people have is nobody is raised now to hear the truth. We're accommodating the lie. So now this is why when you're negative, people automatically cut you off. Positive vibes only over here. We don't want to be around negative people. Blah, 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 blah. But at the end of the day, guys, if you go to crank your car up and it's 2 positive posts, it ain't starting. You got to have positive and negative on that battery, or it ain't starting. Electrical, you got to have a positive and a ground, or you ain't getting no electrical. This is why negativity is necessary, and you're seeing so many people not being able to go through life because they only want a positive terminal, which means I only want a terminal lying into me. Jump in there, Rhonda, let me know what you think.
Those positive vibes only people will bring the most negativity to somebody else's life. Right? Like, yeah, you can't bring it my way, but doggone, if they got something to say, they're going to say it. 'Cause, I just have to be real and I have to tell it like it is, but then they can't take that part. So yeah, you should be leery of positive vibes only people, because they 9 times out of 10 are probably unsteady people and probably very fragile people, to the point where their growth is where they want to stay. They're not going to go any further than where they are, because then that requires them to do some change and do some inner stuff. So it's like, oh no, let me run from that. Let me fake my positivity, and then we're gonna keep it there. Then I don't have to do anything. It doesn't feel good accepting the negative part, but I also know being positive all the time, or being in that comfort zone of only hearing the good stuff, that's basically where your dreams go to die. So why even stay so positive all the time when you know your growth is in the balance?
And it's so funny you say that. TLC, jump in and let me know what you think when you hear what Rhonda just said.
I mean, basically what she's saying is that you have to have a certain amount of discomfort to grow, which is true. You do have to have a little bit of discomfort there, get out of your comfort zone to expand. But I think it's all about how you process it as well. Are you looking at things rationally, objective versus subjective? Are you looking at yourself and saying, okay, this is my personal opinion about what's going on? Or are you looking at the facts and saying, okay, this is why I'm not achieving my goals? So it is some negativity there, but it's about how you process it.
But stop right there. You just preach TLC. We're going to stick a pin in that one right there, but I'm going to jump right on. Are you stepping back
and looking at it?
Most people are driven by their emotions. Positivity does not drive emotion. Negativity does. This is why you have to be negative with people in order to get a behavior change. Okay? So how did they get us to act right in school back in the day now? Not now. Back in the day. Man, don't make me have to call your parents. Right? Okay, well, all right, let me go ahead and do this work, and let me stop acting the fool in class, right? Don't make me call your parents in sports. You didn't want to ride the bench, right? all this kind of stuff is how we were motivated because y'all know I got to throw my scripture in there. Because what I love about this is that the scripture said you were born in sin and shaped in iniquity, right? So at the end of the day, the only thing that motivates me is sin and iniquity. And so I got to process it. You got to come at me and tell me not to do something in order for me to do it actually. And that's because we're wired backwards. If you're tightening a screw, what do they say? Righty tighty, lefty loosey. Well, sometimes you got a left-handed screw. And the left-handed screw, you got to do lefty tighty, righty loosey. That's why people hate left-handed screws. Why am I saying this to you, TLC? Is that if you could tell me somebody who's been motivated by positivity and got a behavior change, I'd love to meet them. I got multiple businesses, right? I could have 95% of those businesses bring in positive sales results. The one that gets the change is the one that bombed that night, right? You cannot celebrate when one of them are doing bad. Go ahead, TLC.
So like my example for positivity, and I'm just popped in my head. So like let's say you have, I don't know, a youth peewee league, okay? You can have kids that were like maybe in a bad neighborhood and everything. You put them on the football team, you're giving them positive reinforcement.
What team you talking? I said specific. You can't tell me what don't tell me no remember the Titans.
I mean, you know,
don't give me no remember the Titans type stuff.
So I don't know, but I'm just but that's what I'm saying though. There's a lot of like YMCA thing that you take kids and you put them in a positive situation and help build them up, help them grow. So there is places where there are examples of
what are they doing to these kids? What are they doing to these kids? Okay, I was just checking.
Kids are
I was just checking. The perspective is, but TLC, you're talking about organizations, right?
See?
You're talking about organizations. When you talk about the boys club, the Boys and Girls Club, and you talk about people that feed the homeless and all this kind of stuff, right? But what we got to recognize is it's okay to be motivated by the negative. The reason why I'm telling you that, TLC, I can tell you a bunch of people who would say, first of all, I want to thank all my haters, right? What's that new song out right now, right? I can't remember the exact words, but he say, you love it when you do it, but it's a problem when we do it. It's this rap song out there, but he talks about that. You see, but TLC, you still up there listening to Fox at 107, 104.
You talking about? I gotta wait for them to get shot.
Look at what he just made our point about negativity, right? I gotta wait till they get shot before I listen to them. We can't move beyond Biggie and Tupac in the rap debate. Why? Once they got shot, they became more influential. They became more powerful. And one of the things you're hearing now with this trap music, this drill music, people acting out these lyrics. Why are they not acting out the gospel songs? Oh, I look to you, Lord. They ain't acting that out. I pull up to your shop, I'll wet you, right? Yeah, absolutely.
They need
that right now action. They ain't looking for that by and by. They ain't looking for that by and by gospel song. You don't hear nobody bumping Kurt Franklin like that, right? Yeah, they ain't nobody trying to come up that rough side of the mountain no more. And I think one of the things we got to realize, guys, about negativity is we need to embrace it. The reason why I wanted to do this podcast on this topic is because you're gonna be challenged to tell me somebody who you gave positive reinforcement to and it worked. You're gonna be challenged because the people who know you the most or the best don't want to listen to you, right? They don't want to listen to you. Y'all got to understand. I said it before in previous podcasts. I don't have to teach you how to fail. You already know how to do that on your own. Every company you work for that sent you through training. And you know what you said when it was time to go to training? Man, I don't know why the hell they taking me through this training. I ain't gonna do it anyway. The trainer up there trying to use positive influence. And if everybody remembers the Progressive auto insurance commercial back in the day, when they had the motivational speaker up there saying, you got potential. And you got potential. Pinocchio doing the motivational speaking. And what he say? You got potential. And his nose kept growing. Right? His nose kept growing. And everybody out in the audience knew he was lying. Because they knew, and y'all know what's the meme out there? What's the meme out there? when you can't let black people train somebody. Because what is it? Black people say, yeah, the manual say do it like this, but this is how we do it. Right? This is the way we do it. TLC, negativity is what resonates with you. So, Rhonda, when you hear me say negativity resonates, what goes through your head when you hear me say that?
Well, from a personal standpoint, it resonates because I know when I started my business, like I knew I was a great therapist, but I didn't know how I would be as a business woman, like how I would handle all of that. And so through a lot of conversations with you, but you also have the other side too, right? Because you got people who are in business that you're talking to, but then you got your family and your friends.
Why you better not leave that slaves? Why you got them sounding like escaped slaves, man?
We're gonna help you pay your bills.
We on the Underground Railroad right now.
That's on the rough side of the mountain. And then you got the people who are in business for themselves, like you. Like that's who I was talking to at the time. One of the people, and then some of the mentors I had, and that I had a whole different outlook on what the positive parts could be, what the good things about it is. And then you like, well, shoot, I don't want to be over here because I'm miserable over here. But it's so doggone comfortable because it's supposed to be something guaranteed. And more importantly, they'll help me out probably if I get in a bind.
Yeah.
That's a lot. That's a whole lot. And so then when you go over here where I had to stretch myself and listen to JB and running all his businesses that he had, how dare I'm like, oh, I can't listen to him. Yeah, he's sitting up here with all these businesses, but I'm going to listen over here. It's almost like that book, Rich Dad, Poor Dad, where you just like, oh, man, like I love these people over here. They won't tell me anything wrong. They're just looking out for me, but my growth is going to be stunted. I'm still not going to be happy. But over here, my business depends on how well I do. That falls solely on me.
Ooh, Rhonda, you just preached.
Am I ready to put
myself
out there?
You just preached. You just preached. Hold on. We got to preach that thing. I'm going to translate it.
What if you...
Rhonda just let y'all know all of your negative relationships are comfortable relationships. See, it's easy to take the call from them. Negativity, guys, is smooth like 1040 oil, right? That's how negativity is smooth, right? When somebody being positive with you, you like, man, you don't know my situation. Let somebody call you and be negative with you, bro. Man, I'm glad you called, bro. You know what I'm going through. And that's what Rhonda's saying. Like, you call the people who telling you to stay where you are. And that feels so much better because guess what, man? This baby ain't coming without labor pains. I want the baby, but I don't know if I want the baby more than I want the labor pains. And I had to learn in business. I had to want the labor pain. The baby is the result. The labor pain is the journey. And a lot of people don't want the journey, which is where negativity makes you stop doing the journey. But the moment you get the baby, everybody want to tell you how cute the baby is. Everybody want to enjoy the baby, right? Right? And that's negativity, guys. Negativity is comfortable. And Rhonda, you just pointed it out where all my friends, all my family, they're over here in this comfort, and we just doing enough to get by. We want what we think is security. I'm glad you brought up Rich Dad, Poor Dad, which is you're thinking the security is in what you've always done. But deep down, when you fall asleep, you know there's more. The problem is negativity is necessary because somebody has to tell you that the way you are currently processing things is not going to work in your promised land. It'll work in your Egypt or give you the impression that you're working, but it ain't working. Go ahead, Rhonda, jump in there. TLC, I want you to jump in there.
Or even more deep is that all they expect from you is to be where you are. How dare you grow further than where you are? You better stay here.
Speak it by faith that it's going to get better. Let God do it, but you can't.
Sing yourself.
Let God do it, but you can't.
Yes. Yeah. And that's just personal experience from my end. I'm just like, I'm so glad I chose the other side. No, was it pretty? Absolutely not. But it's always worth it. And so learning to embrace the negativity has been better. Still hard, but it's more digestible now because I know
And
that's what freedom
negativity
is
from
on the other
somebody from
side
your
of that.
promised
So it's
land is
just
different from
it's better to
negativity
do
from
that.
somebody in your bondage. Negativity in your promised land is truth. And here's the best part about truth. You already know your current way ain't working. That's the best part. I ain't trying to convince you on that. That ain't working. Yeah, we gonna pray. We gonna pray. We done bought all the olive oil from Publix to throw on us.
Need it to work.
We done everything,
Yes.
and it still ain't working. TLC, jump in and let us know what you're thinking.
I kind of dropped off for a minute. Last thing I heard, we were talking about the rapper the baby. I guess I don't.
Oh, you need to stop. We were on a different
No, but
podcast.
I do think you made a great point. It was like, I don't think it's necessarily a person trying to steer you wrong. They're giving you the best advice they can from their past and their situation. So their advice may not be in the direction of where you want to go. So it might not be best to process what it is they're saying. But that's not necessarily mean they're trying to harm you or do you wrong.
Mhm.
They're just steering you to the best of their ability. So you do have to you got to kind of match up where you want to be in life versus who you're getting your information from. Is the person you're getting your information from someone that's been on that journey, or is it just someone who's telling you not to do
TLC,
it?
you make a good point because negativity also comes into the form of confirmation. And what I mean by that, I can find more people to confirm my failure than to be positive about my future success. And I ain't talking about this fake it till you make it stuff. I ain't talking about speaking it to an existing stuff. People who are in the promised land, people who are being successful, they're going to give you specific instructions on what to do. The people who are going to confirm your failure are going to make you feel better about where you are until they can get off the phone with you. And this is why it's important, guys. Don't allow negativity to come to you in the form of positivity or the form of confirmation. Right? And oftentimes, hey man, if I were you, I wouldn't do this. Okay. Right? That ain't positivity or confirmation. That's negativity. Because what people are saying is, I don't want you to get ahead of me. And the hardest thing I had to learn was when I was on my journey is embracing somebody else growing. Embracing it. Because at the end of the day, the best part about business is if you do what business says, it's going to work for everybody. Like that's the best part. You go to a bank, they lay out the rules. If you got this, this, and this, it'll work for everybody. But in bondage and in negativity, right? At the end of the day, guys, you can tell me to do something, and because you don't want me to get ahead of you, you're going to give me bad advice. Now, negativity is necessary because you got to balance that negative out. For every person I call who's going to give me confirmation in my failure, I got to have a conversation with somebody who's going to push me to my success. Again, car battery. If you go to jump a car, go put the jumper cables on one post and see what's going to happen. Right? And everybody always know this. When you go jump a car, what's the number one thing people are afraid of? Some people give you some old jumper cables and you don't know which one is the hot in the ground, right? And if that spark come on, bruh, TLC just look it up, right? I'm like, man, I saw somebody jump in the car the other day and both of them were like the things that had no color on. I'm like, bruh, which post you gonna put it on? But at the end of the day, he knew his jumper cables, right? Now, if I were to go over there and use his jumper cables, now if I go to AutoZone will have them properly labeled. But this dude, they were both black, and both of the terminal connectors were silver. I'm like, bro, how you hooking this thing up? But he knew that thing cranked right on up. TLC, they cranked right on up. But I want to make sure everybody understands the reason why we're doing this. The reason why we're doing this podcast is because negativity hides itself in truth, and a lot of people don't want to hear the truth because they don't understand that truth is what you need to go to the next level. And telling you the truth doesn't mean you're bad. It just means that I'm talking to you about your role. I'm not talking to you about you. And that's the hardest thing I had to learn. And I got a lot of employees that always want to bring emotion and always want to bring personal belief system in. It's not hard to be successful. It's not hard to make money. It's not hard to do anything until everything you got taught before your opportunity at freedom takes over your mindset. Jump in there, Ron. I saw you had your hand up.
I forgot what I was going to say, but I'm going to come up with something.
Like Baylor's and kick me in TLC.
That Bailey's.
No, but you know how, like you said, how like people, you would hope that your family and friends have your best interests at heart, right? But there is something annoying about playing it safe all the time, right? And like, just speaking from experience, being single and no kids, people always want you to be safe. Make sure now. Yeah, I'm going into my slave wars. Make sure now. Make sure you got everything. You got everything together. Like, stuff is so detrimental. And then I had to start thinking about things about where that person is in their life and how far they have tried to go, or if they tried at all. And so, yeah, you can love me, but love me from afar. I'm good over here with me taking risks, so I won't have any regrets or not knowing how far I could go. And so I don't think they necessarily want to be negative with you, but they do want you to play it safe. Yes. But nothing ever happens when you're safe. You might as well be over there.
I like what you said. What you said, Rhonda. Playing it safe is another form. Playing it safe is another form of stunting your growth. Playing it safe is, what if you went to a baseball game and the person never left first base? like, look, man, steal the base. Steal the base. And one of the things, I like what you said, Rhonda. Let's jump into that real fast. And TLC, I want you to come in, because none of us have kids. None of us have kids on this podcast. And I've never had, you tell somebody you don't have kids. Well, who gonna take care of you when you get old? Well, you mean who gonna pull the plug on me when I get old? Like, at the end of the day, you get all these things to try to get you, and everybody who has kids, they got to tell you in public, oh my God, it's a blessing. And I go to skiing. I go to a lot of these ski resorts, and thankfully I can go to some real nice ski resorts. And what I love about this, what makes a ski resort nice, is the children's center. The children's center. Why do you need a good children's center? Because you can lead them kids with that instructor all day. Right? Everybody talking about it's supposed to be a family trip. You didn't drop these jokers off while you over here drinking next to me. How you telling me kids a blessing? You drop them off. You pay $1,300 a day to let these people not see you, and not these people stop you. Is worth every penny, but you calling it a family trip?
Worth every penny.
And I'm sitting here watching the TLC last ski trip I went on. I sent you a video. I said, look at the ski school right there. I said, I'm gonna get in here with. They like little ducks coming on down the mountain. I got in there right with them, right? Because I'm going to learn how to, like, one of the things you're going to find, guys, is that you're not a bad person if you're not married. You're not a bad person if you don't have kids. Here's what you're going to find. The person you working for probably is not married, probably don't have kids. The person who making all the decisions in the company you working for probably is not married, probably doesn't have kids. Why? They can operate freely without bondage. And why do you guys think the LGBTQ and all the other letters have influence? Right? They don't have any kids, which means they got more resources, which means they can influence politically. They can influence politically, man. I was just at a City of Tampa commissioners meeting. I'm gonna get you in there, TLC. And this builder was trying to build something. It was a land use hearing. This builder was trying to build something, and you got people from the neighborhood that couldn't afford a lawyer up there talking about why you shouldn't let this builder in. This builder had their lawyer come in, and he just hit code on them. He hit code on them. Why you gotta allow it? These people in here talking about, well, we only got one storm drain. What's gonna happen to the water when it back up when all these people come in? I'm like, bruh, you about to lose. I'm sitting on the back row dying laughing because you don't want to have a conversation. Somebody told you to go before the city council emotionally, and you bought into it, and that lie worked until you change environments. TLC, jump in there. Let me know what you had your hand up for. I'm pretty sure it's something good when you raised that little pinky finger.
When Ronald was talking about being single with no kids, I was thinking about I ran into this girl I knew, like from high school, growing up from back in the day. So I took a picture and I sent it to my older brother because he knew her as well. He was like, "Oh, that's a great picture. You gonna put that on Facebook?" I was like, Sometimes you just got to keep stuff to yourself. Like, it just brings up too many questions. Too many people got too much input.
TLC, you preaching.
Especially now with social media.
Look at what you're saying. Look at what you just said.
Out there.
The reason I can't post an innocent picture. The reason I can't post an innocent picture, because everybody gonna come at you. Everybody gonna come at you. When y'all getting married, why y'all should have got together? You always liked, she always liked you. Yeah, but she done been ran through now. You know this.
Right. Oh my goodness.
He texting her right there. Look,
that's
I'm
why I
almost
can't put
finished
no
this lame ass podcast. I'm gonna call you as soon as he didn't text her right
now. But yeah, I mean, I'm just saying, it's not necessarily negative, but it's unwarranted sometimes. So.
But TLC, I think it's funny that you said that about opinions, man.
Stuff out there.
Y'all got to understand, the majority of people in your life are going to be negative. But when you have those few people in your life that will tell you how to look at something differently, right? How to look at something differently, you got to embrace them, right? And a lot of people struggle because. And again, I tell y'all, I got way more people who hate me than like me. But yeah, and you lead it, and you the number one person on the list.
I believe that.
You the number one person. You the number one person on the list. And for everybody who started a podcast, always have somebody like TLC on your podcast because that's who people listen to, right? Because people love the negativity, people love to hate, and TLC is the king of hate, right? He's the king of hate when it comes to me. He's supportive of everybody else. Notice he ain't disagree with Rhonda yet. All these podcasts, he ain't disagree with Rhonda yet. But y'all think it's just like my podcast. There's a lot of people who would love to be on the podcast. Why can't they be on the podcast? They can't hear the communication back from the people closest to them, right? They would love to be on the podcast. There's people who would be a great addition to the podcast. And not just my podcast, any other podcast. But look at what TLC just said. I would love to be on it, but I got to concern myself with what people are going to say once I'm on it. And when did having an opportunity to expand your influence, expand your platform, become a problem? And what happens is I find myself living my life to be comfortable, to make somebody else comfortable, instead of me coming out of my cocoon. A couple weeks ago, maybe a month ago, I did a staff meeting. What's the difference between a caterpillar and a butterfly? One you stomp on, the other one you go pay money to look at the garden. That's it, right? It is true. You see a caterpillar right now, you gonna say kill it. You see a butterfly, oh my God, it's so pretty. One decided to go through the cocoon process and the other one didn't get a chance to. No, you let a caterpillar roll in your house right now.
Him from going through the process.
He go. Butterfly coming there. If a butterfly fly in there, you can let it. It's pretty. We'll open the door, let him go out when he want to go out. A lot of people want y'all to stay caterpillars because your lifestyle has become a person that's being stomped on. There's a lot of people who hate me because I'm telling them something completely different than everybody else who's telling them they're a loser. So Jeff, you're the liar, right? You don't ever try to talk to somebody who's emotional about how to have a strategy logically. Because what they want their way to work so bad because they've been told by all these people that their way won't work. And what you don't realize is, TLC, those people are right that your way won't work. The difference is they're trying to stop you from going. The person who's going to tell you, hey, adjust it and tweak it this way, trying to move you ahead. Rhonda, jump in there. Let me know what you think when you hear me say that.
Well, it's only if you're really wanting to change. That comfort zone could feel so good, man. Like you don't want to leave that comfort zone, right? Like it's like one of the things I do that is so it ain't even that great. But whenever I wear contact lenses, so whenever I put in a new pair at the beginning of the month, within that first 5 days, I got to take me a good old nap in them. It's like I
Like a
broke
good
them
old,
in
like a good old pair of
unless I
drawers.
didn't slip in them. And I don't even like sleeping in contacts, but gotta get a good nap, right? Well, that's y'all business. Uh, but yeah, okay, that too. But it's like it's just something about, man, these contacts don't ain't even ready for me until I done slept, took a good old nap in the middle of the day in them, right? And it's not that it's anything big. It's just that it's so familiar, and it just feels like that's what should be done. And then as soon as somebody comes and says, well, oh, why don't you look at it this way and do something different? Then it's like, oh no, but everything is working fine over here. Or it's about to work out, so I don't need to do that. And and when you got that conflict within you, that part of you know you need to change and want to change and do something different.
Oh, you called it
It's
right.
just
You
that
called it. You called
Egypt
it.
feels
You
so
called it
good.
right.
I
It's
mean, the
Egypt for
comfort zone
sure.
feels so
It's Egypt for
good.
sure. For the regular people, right?
Yeah, for the
For the
regular
people who
people.
didn't, for the
For the
people who
regular
didn't have to
people.
go to church every Sunday growing up. Yeah, okay.
But like it feels, yes, Lord. Yes. And so yeah, so it just feels so good. And so you don't get to hear the negative stuff in the comfort zone, because why would you want to do something different? Why would you want to go somewhere different? Why would you want to work harder for something?
It's so funny, Rhonda, that you're
When
saying
you
that. For all
know
y'all
when
that
you
can
know you're
see it,
being
if you listen, if you see it, if you're watching this on YouTube, as soon as Rhonda came on, I love Rhonda's shirt. She got on the Harlem Night shirt, right? She got on the Harlem Night shirt, right? And if y'all have seen that movie, remember when the gangsters came and Sugar Ray was like, "Man, we ain't gangsters, right? We ain't gangsters." Quick was ready. Quick was ready to fight. What did he say, man? We gonna score a big bag and we getting the hell out of Harlem, right? But what the all Quick knew his whole life was to fight, and that movie showed you that Richard Pryor could have easily told Eddie Murphy in that movie, "Nah, you right, man. We gonna fight. We gonna fight." If he didn't love him, if he didn't care for him, but they ran that game because at the end of the day, they knew what their enemy was gonna do. They knew, right? And oftentimes, guys, a lot of times movies teach us a lot of different stuff. And Rhonda, I like what you said, because when you're comfortable, right, it's no different, right? If I get homesick, being in Florida now, if I get homesick, I go to Cracker Barrel. And the worst thing about going to Cracker Barrel, I either go get the country ham or the fried catfish. I go get something I shouldn't have. And it feels so good going down, and then all of a sudden, 3 hours later, when you wake up out of your food coma because you shouldn't have had all that grease, you like, man, what the hell did I just eat? Right? Now, if somebody called me and said, Jeff, man, you don't need to go to Cracker Barrel. You know what? Watch me. I'm going to Cracker Barrel. And we got to understand that if we want change out of a person, hey, man, sound like you got the right answer. Go ahead and do it. Right? Now, they already know their way ain't working. That's why you got to go ahead. I remember when I took sales training, and they call it the negative reverse. Okay, man. When your way stop working, go ahead and call me. And I'll never forget, that was the best line I would tell my prospects and tell my customers when they would say, Jeff, I don't want to use your product. I like this product better. Hey, man, cool. Go ahead and do it. Hold on, man. You ain't going to try to sell me on yours? No, if yours working, bro, I'm like you. You don't want to get no calls at night talking about it ain't working, right? So don't use my product. That's what happens when you switch to a new product. Everybody going to be calling you, telling you it ain't working. So, hey, if you get a call at night, that means you calling me at night. So let's just go ahead and get out of that. But what they were trying to do was get a cheaper price. They were trying to get something out of me. Because if you don't fight emotion with training, guys, you done. And so why is negativity necessary? Negativity is necessary because sometimes you're going to have to use negativity in order to get somebody. You're going to have to use it as a strategy. When people lying to you about this positive vibes on this stuff, hey, man, I tell you what, call me when it works. No, man, I thought we were just going to sit on the phone and go back and forth. And again, guys, when people send you stuff on Instagram, about how all of a sudden they done invested in real estate and they making millions. Yeah, okay, now I'll wait. I ain't taking that course. I ain't doing that, right? Because guess what, TLC, we in real estate, right? Everybody can show you somebody who done made money in real estate. And what I've learned is that the people who done made money in real estate ain't on social media talking about making money in real estate. Because everybody in real estate right now just selling courses, selling leads, selling everything else but real estate. And that's what you gotta understand, guys, is that understanding that training helps you use negativity to your benefit. Ron, I remember when I sent you that sales book. And you and I were going back and forth on the phone. Me and you were going back and forth, right? And I sent you that book. It just showed up. It showed up from Amazon, and you read it, and you called me back, and you said, "Damn, why? Why did I do that?" Because I could recognize she didn't want to hear it from me right then. So let me see. Here you go again. He just won't let up.
Yeah,
But I realized, I'm like, you know what? I know how she processes. She can do this in her own time. And when she read it, she was like, oh my God, that's what's happening to me. And TLC, the reason I'm saying all this is because people who care about you, and here's what happens, guys, who care about where you should be. There's some people in your life based on where you are. And then there's people who care about you based on where you should be. And the negativity you're experiencing is because you're trying something new, but you have an out of balance situation going on with everybody in your life who doesn't want to see you achieve it, because once you achieve it, there's no place for them. Jump into TLC. Let me know what you're thinking. Oh, you know, I got my DoorDash up as soon as it's over.
Get my get my thoughts together. But no, like I said, negativity is necessary. I mean, that was the point of the podcast. It is necessary. It's a necessary tool. It does help push you along a little bit. That's not to say positivity doesn't work as well, but you do need that negativity there to kind of shake things up a little bit, make you look and see how your life is going or the direction your goals are going. Kind of rethink
think about
things
it, TLC.
and strategize.
When we get together and go on our trip every year, what's the worst thing? The worst thing you hate?
It's definitely necessary.
This is how negativity works, right? When we go somewhere nice on our trip, right? And I take the boys somewhere nice on that trip, and I know the food good. The best feeling for me once a year is when I look over at TLC's face and he enjoying it, because he enjoying it, but he don't want to give me no props for nothing. Right? He don't want to give me no props for nothing. And that's my only goal each year, is to take TLC somewhere where he has to acknowledge that the food is all right, man. You hit me on this one, right? We were in Miami, right? And I'll never forget it. We were at Prime 112, and we sitting at the bar at Prime 112, and Torrance's brother Chris is with us. And it was the funniest thing. We just ordering everything, right? And Chris saw foie gras was on the menu. And you at a nice place when Torrance's brother can say, is your foie gras duck or goose? I said, TLC, if that wasn't the most hilarious thing, right? Because you can see TLC's face like, I can't believe we.
I was thinking we could have went to a damn Sizzler.
We had crab legs as long as all four of us sitting beside each other.
That's what I was thinking.
And it's funny, guys, because one of the things you have to do, and all of us on this panel got taught, don't forget where you come from, help people, all that kind of stuff. You bring people with you, blah, 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 blah. But one of the things you're going to find, guys, is that's some of the hardest stuff to do sometimes. Because what you learned is, when everybody's in the dirt, you actually believe that we were all working toward getting out of the dirt. And then when you get out of the dirt, you realize, like, no, bruh, we like it down here in the dirt better. Rhonda, jump in there. Let me know what you think about that.
No, it's true. You do believe that if you are hanging with certain people and like that, you kind of want the same things out of life until you find out like they don't. And that's why I'm so glad that I'm in a much better place of knowing that if a client leaves, then you just leave. Hey man, it's what it is, right?
What you say? What, Ron? You what? I'm full.
You know what?
Hit that for the panelists. Hit that for the audience again. I'm full, bruh.
I'm full.
Yeah. Hey guys, let me tell you, that's the best part about life,
full.
right?
Yeah.
When you can tell
I'm full.
somebody, man,
Yeah.
you can't come back, man. The door closed. The door is closed. Why? If I let you back in.
Yes. But I
Mm-hmm.
also had to close the door from my previous employer, right? Like my business cannot be successful if I'm longing for what was there. Like I had to cut that. That wasn't an option for me to go back to, right? So even that, I had to put that negative spin on that so that it wasn't even appealing to me anymore.
Rhonda, you
had
just
to look forward instead of reminiscing on
you
what
just
could
preach,
and would
Rhonda,
should.
because what Rhonda is saying to everybody who out there listening,
and I had to
bet on
move on.
yourself. If you won't bet on yourself, if you won't bet on yourself, and here's what happens, guys. I ain't gonna ever wake up and fire me. Now I'm gonna wake up and fire some other people. Jeff Bezos laying people off left and right. But that cat still living life out there. See, and what a lot of people don't understand is we got taught that the security was in somebody else. But the security is you. The security is you. You look, at the end of the day, nobody can stop me from going to start reading this book I'm gonna read later on tonight. Because the best part, I had a meeting one time, and one of my staff meeting, I said in my staff meeting, I said, as a business owner, I'm the most compliant guy here. One of my employees looked at me and said, what do you mean you the most compliant guy here? The business owner get to do whatever he wants. No, business owner got to be the most compliant person here. So what happens is I can only talk to certain people because if I make a bad decision, it's systemic. Everybody loses. So there's certain people I can't listen to because if I listen to them, they will put me back in the dirt, but they will put everybody associated with me back in the dirt. And y'all know the cliche, do you want to be rich or do you want to be right? And every day I got to wake up and choose to be rich. No, I let you do that, TLC. TLC,
right.
TLC, I let you wake up every day and choose that. Yeah, that's what TLC does.
No,
but again, guys, when we look at this, why negativity is necessary, I think we kind of made some good points for everybody tonight. Because negativity, guys, is something that you have to be able to use from a training perspective. It can't be something you're using from an emotional perspective. And here's what happens, guys. Nobody asked for my advice. This is the best part about being Jeff Barnes. Nobody asked for my advice. I just throw it on you, right? I just throw it on you. I don't care if you want it or not. And here's the deal, guys. Yes. Everything I do in my life, it ain't for you. It's for me. Nope. Because if I hear you talking, I got to make sure that what's on you don't come on me if you're not trying to expand. If you look at any one of my social media posts, when I open a new bar, it says expansion. If you're not in expansion mode, I'm gonna send you stuff so that I'm not concerned about your behavior, because I got taught to look out for everybody, pray for everybody, do this. No. Let me show you what I got to do so that I don't become in the same position you're in. Because at the end of the day, guys, nobody calls me and asks me for advice. Nobody calls me and asks me for advice. I just thrust it on you. And I'm going to just keep hitting you with it, because when all that other stuff stopped working, just like it did for me, you going to listen to it. TLC, give us your closing thought, man, on this podcast. Let the people know what you want to tell them. So until next time.
Until next time, keep an eye out for that negativity in your life. It is necessary, but it just depends on how you process and what you do with the information. So yeah, take it, process it.
Rhonda, what about you? What's your closing?
But it is necessary.
Process that negativity quickly. If you go process it quickly so you can get on to the next stage where you're supposed to be. My lasting thoughts is take the negativity, don't count it as a loss, but count it as an asset, something that you could have and grow from and move on, and do it every single time. Don't let it linger too long, because lingering keep you stuck in the
negativity.
That's the last place
negativity is necessary, because we couldn't name the podcast Truth is Necessary, or nobody would click on it. And negativity is just another word for truth. You are not doing everything right. I cannot lie to you. Truth is going to hide itself in negativity. And that's why it's necessary. And if you find yourself mad at me, you're mad at Jeff, you're not mad at the message. And what a lot of people don't understand about negativity is it's only negative because the person you wanted it from is not giving it to you. And the person you didn't want it from gave it to you. But it's the truth. And it's going to come into the form of negativity because you've been taught to process. I have a certain look on who I want to give me truth, which is why that certain look you have to give you truth is always going to lie to you. Deception comes. That's why every social media platform has a filter. Because if I'm going to deceive you, I know what you have determined truth looks like. Negativity is necessary because your person that you want to give it to you has no clue on what you need to get to the next level. And I had to learn that because growing up, you get taught who you should listen to. And this person is safe and this person is not safe. And that's what I had to drop. Just like I said on a previous podcast, all growing up, you got taught, don't talk to strangers. Well, now I'm a grown man. And I got to talk to all these strangers to get some money. Okay. And that's the difference with negativity. Negativity is going to come negativity is truth, but negativity is truth from a person that you didn't want to hear it from. And that's my closing statement. TLC, tell them where they can find you at on Instagram, man.
As
Man,
always,
I appreciate you coming back again and
actually
actually contributing tonight. We didn't fight as much tonight. This one ain't gonna get as many views. Hold on, my bad.
Someone's on my headphones. I didn't hear the applause, but you go ahead.
Go. Hold on.
You go ahead. Say it on my.
There you go, TLC. Hold on. All right, hold on. I'm over here playing with the button. Yeah, you see how it tailed off at the end? Yeah. Rhonda,
I'm still not positive reinforcement.
Tell them where they can find you on Instagram,
Rhonda.
Yeah.
You can find me at RMB LMBT on IG.
Sorry. I'm hitting buttons. Thank you, Rhonda, for coming in.
Oh,
and of course, man, I'm the Real Cigar Jeff. You can find me on Instagram at the Real Cigar Jeff. You can find me on Facebook at the Smoke Something, Drink Something podcast. If you're watching this on YouTube, again, hit that subscribe button, smash that like button, turn on notifications so that you get the alert every time we drop a new video. Do me a favor, look below in the description, support the channel, get the merch. And until next time, we gonna holla.